There's one other way of explaining why it is that demand curves slope downwards from left to right, the way that they do. And that's called, or to do with, what are called the income and substitution effects of a price change. Imagine that you've got a car and you've got to drive to college or work every day. Let's suppose that there is a decrease in the price of Shell petrol. So petrol stations, they compete with one another. But let's suppose that Shell, which is one brand of petrol, the price of petrol in those stations goes down. So how are you going to respond? Well, firstly, what we now know is that the price of Shell petrol, it is relatively lower than the price of other petrol stations. So compared with Texaco, compared with BP, compared with the supermarkets, what's happening is that the price of Shell petrol it now looks much more attractive. As a result of which, what's going to happen is that people are going to substitute. What they're going to do is they're going to substitute Shell petrol for these. They're going to get rid of those. They're not going to go to Texaco. They're not going to go to BP. And instead, they're going to buy more petrol from Shell. So this idea that things are relatively cheaper when the price goes down, that's called the substitution effect. There's a second reason why you might end up buying more petrol. We all spend quite a lot of money on petrol. Well, I do anyway. I live quite a long way from Doverbrooks, and I've got to drive in every day. So let's suppose there is a decrease in the price of petrol, like we said. In this case, it's Shell petrol. Now, generally, I fill up at Shell because it's on the way to work. What does that mean for me? I'm not buying. I'm not switching away because I already buy Shell petrol. But what it does mean, of course, is that my real income has now gone up. So I've got let's suppose I've got a salary. Let's suppose I've got a salary of £3,000 a month. After tax. Because petrol is now cheaper, that money now goes further. So my real income is higher. And as a result of which, I'm going to spend money on lots of different things. Because my real income is higher, I might buy more cookies. I might go to see more movies. And as I go to see these movies, I'm going to need more petrol. So I also buy more petrol as well. So the demand for lots of things goes up. But the one that we're interested in is the price of petrol. So what we're saying is that a decrease in and this becomes known as the income effect of a price change. So what we're saying then is if there is a decrease in price, that impacts on demand in two main ways. We're saying that a downward sloping demand curve like that, as price drops from P1 to P2, we're expecting demand to rise from Q1 to Q2. That is a rise in demand. Instead of buying 50 litres a week, we now buy 80 litres of petrol a week. I would say there are two reasons for that. Firstly, a decrease in the price of Shell petrol means that we substitute Shell petrol for other petrol. And secondly, a decrease in the price of Shell petrol. What that means is that my real income, what my income can buy me, has now gone up, both of which means that there is an increase in the demand. So decrease in price leads to an increase in demand because of the income and substitution effects of a price change.